Well, welcome back to the garage. It's been an interesting week. They've got a big race out of Yellow Belly that we were going to go to, and I was going to film, and it's a big limpy race, baddest small tire car in America kind of thing. But as luck would have it, my kid's mom called and said she wasn't going to be able to get the kids this weekend, so I have the kids and I'm not taking the kids out there. So we stayed home. Henry had to build a fence in his backyard and all this stuff anyway, so we were like, well, something's telling us we just need to stay home. So we did. Well, yesterday Henry brought over his welder. There it is. Hiding over there under the car. And personally, I have not welded in 35 years. So it's been a day or two, And so he brought it over and we set it all up and, made a couple practice passes on some scrap metal I have laying around. And then we made my turbo mount. My little home design. Yay. I even painted it. How sweet, right? But basically, it just sits on the frame like so. And then I have a Maven mount for the turbo, which we're going to have. It's a giant nut, basically. And a large piece of all thread that comes off of it that sits down in this hole. And it just holds it there. Simple. Oh, get back on there. That is not how that was. Like that. There we go. Okay. So, that's what we did last night. And today, if I'm feeling froggy, I may go ahead and, let's see get my bracket down here. Get that welded onto my rear end. So, maybe we can put that in the car. I'm thinking my torque arm is not really going to work with it. So I may have to modify something to make that work. This torque arm wasn't really made for that particular mount. Because that particular mount was made for a specific aftermarket torque arm, apparently. So I got a little something to mess with there. But we're making headway, If I can get the bracket welded to the rear end, then, one step closer. Every little bit. So, just wanted to give a quick update on, what we were doing and, what's been going on here. But, as things progress, I'll give more updates. All right. Okay, well, I didn't do it yesterday, but I did it today. Well, see, this is my, this right here is one of the supports that goes on the rear end piece that I've been needing. And let me get into this. Quite literally, this whole thing with the rear end, this bracket going on the rear end, is the entire reason that I didn't get the car out last year. Motor and training has been in the car for a year. And could I have gotten it running with the factory rear end and all that crap? Yes, I could have. Did I really want to run around with a 308 geared 7.5 rear end? No. When I have a 35 spline, 390 geared spool 9-inch sitting here? But my entire thing was I couldn't get anybody to weld the freaking bracket on the rear end for me. Because the bracket has to be on the rear end so I can mock up everything, and it's kind of a transition. It has to go in a certain order for it all to work. And I mean, I welded in high school, but as I said earlier, I haven't welded in 35 years. So Henry brought over the welder, and, you know, like I said, we practiced and we made up that little mount for my turbo, which was, you know, good practice run. You know, get the hang of it, all that. Did good. So today we embarked on getting the brackets and everything welded up for this torque arm mount. Now, when I test fitted it, I did test fit it last night. And the mounts that we have to weld on, you know, like there's two sides to each one. And they're kind of cut at an angle because the pumpkin is round. Well, it's like one part would hit and the other part would be way off. So I trimmed the part that hit first, and I trimmed it too much. Whatever. So what we did today was we got it to where the inside parts both touched. We tacked that on. And since I'd cut the longer parts off, we kind of put a piece of metal in there, just basically what I'd cut off of them. We kind of wedged back in there and welded it, and then welded the whole thing together. So the outside welds they look really large, and they are because basically we're filling in a gap. There's a piece of metal in there, but it's like you're joining three pieces of metal together rather than two. But anyway, we got that all taken care of. By the time I finished the last weld, I'd actually, you know, calmed down and, you know, was going slow and everything. And my welds were actually starting to look really good. But, you know, the rest of them aren't that great, but they penetrate, they work. It'll do. If the rear end comes rolling out from under the car one day, I only have me to blame. So that's fine. But without any further ado, this is just the brackets. I'll show you why. But I got them all painted. You know, they're on there. Right there. There's the bottom one. And then, you know, the brace over here. So that's that part. Now, the next thing. Now, I was saying that the torque arm that I have doesn't really work with this bracket. I mean, it does, but then it doesn't. And I'll show you why. Hold on. Big old torque arm. Okay, let me switch the camera around here. All right. So, if it's lined up in the holes like that, it's going up. That goes up through the floor pan, and you know, that's no bueno. So I figured it out. It needs to be about here, because that's parallel with the pinion. So that comes out. It'll come up just a little, because it has to... hold on. There we go. It has to mount like that. The cross member will be below it. So that's how it has to be. So now, as you can see, I've drawn out there. I have to cut that off and drill a new hole there to fit it. So that's my next project. If I'm feeling froggy sometime this week, I'll do it. More than likely, it'll be next weekend, because I work late and I have to get the kids. And as soon as I get the kids from daycare, I have to make dinner and get them bathed and in bed and all that crap. And by then it's too late. You know, single dad life. What are you going to do? But, yeah, once I get that cut and the new holes drilled, then I can clean the bracket up and paint it. Go ahead and put it on the rear end. Well, I can put it on there for now. It'll have to come back off because I still have to mess with the third member. But that was a big load off my shoulders. That's something I've been dying to get done. And like I said, nobody would freaking do it. Just everybody's got something going on. The person I would normally have do all my welding moved, and he's more than 2 hours away now. And so it's really hard to get the car over there. And he's working on someone else's car for old school back half. He's got to finish that. And, you know, there's so much that needs to be done with my car. If I take it over there, he's going to have it all year long. I'm never going to see this car again. And, you know, honestly, most of it's stuff I can do here. I've never had a welder. You know, but Henry has a welder. Granted, it's a 110 and not a gas welder. You know, we've got to deal with that. It's flux core, so we're splatter welding everything. But, you know, it is what it is. We work with what we got. And so, we're going to get it together. Hopefully, I don't kill myself. But, yeah, I'm excited. We're making progress. Happy times. I'm going to be out this year. Damn it. I'm going to be out this year. Come hell or high water. Alrighty. Don't forget, click like, subscribe, leave comments, all that. Please, it helps the channel. And Lord knows my channel needs help. I'm not the only one who needs help. My channel needs help. Oh, Lord. Okay. But, that's it. We're going to leave it at that. Y'all have a good one.